Grownish, smartish, British.
We are British, apparently. Uh-huh.
What happened on the way? He was cussing.
Ben was cussing everyone. Drivers, pedestrians, cyclists, everyone.
But why?
What do you mean, why?
Why are you
He was
cussing
like,
them
look at this
for?
London
I'm
traffic.
not from London. I'm not from London. I'm not from these
But
parts.
you are from London.
Nah, so what
Where
happens?
have you lived most of your life?
For the majority of my life, I lived in central London, yeah.
Whereabouts in central London?
Highbury.
What's your postcode? I'm joking.
Well, my postcode, it was N5.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Central.
So how long have you left? Or how long has it been since you've left London?
We left for, let's say, I say 6 or 7 years ago.
All right, I'll let you off. If you're going to say it's like a year ago, 2
No.
years ago.
It's been a
I've been
while.
Now,
where-
look at this bougie guy. He moved to Reading and he's just like, sorry, guys.
I've been where I've been for 4 years.
Okay, fair enough.
So then before that, I was out, moved out to East London, and then we moved out even...
Sorry. Yes?
Hi!
Don't watch us.
What's
We're
up, brother?
only just filming.
What's up, brother?
Just
What
gay
do you
crashing. Hi,
Hello, how are
bestie.
you?
Hi, boo.
You can keep this all in.
100%.
Hi, I'm Fizz. How are you?
Sorry guys, are we on it?
We are in it.
Yeah.
He has
Like and subscribe. You're listening to Tricky now.
to. No. Grown up British.
You heard the brother. You
Keep
heard
going.
him. You heard him.
God bless guys, we're next stop.
See you soon.
So, on that note, guys, you are locked into Grown Up British.
Woo!
We grownish,
Smartish.
smartish.
British, apparently.
You're gonna do it properly.
Brit.
Apparently.
Oh, sorry. Apparently.
Apparently. So, intro-wise, we have... So I was thinking, when I was driving,
Yeah.
I was thinking our names really work if I was to like switch them up a little bit.
Okay, go on.
What about your consents?
Go on.
We have Little Fizz.
Little Fizz!
No, wait, no. Little Fizz was part of
BTK.
No, that's a dude, isn't it? That's another thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
UK. Little
Different
Fizz.
spelling as well.
True.
With one Z.
One Z.
We can say little if you want to.
Nah, Lil's cool, Lil's cool.
Alright. Then we have
Yeah.
Uncle Ben.
Your uncle's favourite uncle.
Yes.
And then we have Mama Heps.
Oh, jeez, I'm bread.
We're like a family.
How did you get to be the mum?
Because I'm Mama Heps. I'm a mum by default.
And I'm a papa. I'm not called Papa.
Papa.
Listen,
Papa
Uncle Ben works your rice, your everything. So
Rice. That's my claim to fame. Rice. We just eat rice.
I'm not going to lie. Uncle Ben kind of, yeah, sorry.
It hits differently.
It does. So, seeing it's our first visual podcast, I thought I'd do something a little bit different before we start.
I'm ready.
I would call it an icebreaker, but it's not really an icebreaker because we all know each other. But for those who don't know us, who wants to start first?
I'll go.
Tell me your best joke.
No. I don't even have joke. Where did you... We were talking in the
No,
car.
you can't teeth her joke.
I'm not going
You
to.
can't teach my
We were
joke.
talking in the car.
I'm the queen
This
of
is
dad jokes.
This is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. It's going to be bad. We were talking in the car and she said, Fizz said one of her friends moved to where?
Okay.
Which is where? And I said, so when you get to the middle of it, is it called the middle of nowhere?
I did
That's
laugh.
actually funny.
That's
I
terrible.
did laugh.
That was terrible.
But I will laugh at really bad jokes. So.
So I said it's the middle of nowhere. So that was my joke.
So, this is your limelight, I'm guessing, because you're queen of dad jokes.
Yes.
Tell me one.
My favourite one.
Go on, hit us.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange. Who?
Orange who?
Wait, hold on.
Wait, you can't say a joke
Wait.
and forget it
Oh,
halfway.
wait, I know.
Forgot.
I came too early.
You forgot.
Oh, wow, that's what he said. He hasn't landed.
Let's
for
try
him yet.
again. Knock,
he's,
knock.
He's all red in eyes now. He doesn't understand.
Wait, what?
Came too early.
Ignore.
That's what he said.
Let's start again.
Oh,
Knock, knock.
Sorry, mumsy, if you're watching.
Who's there?
Red.
Red who?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Red.
Red who?
Knock knock.
I'm not going to say knock again.
You have to,
Knock
right?
knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Orange, you glad I didn't say red?
Cheese and bread.
Boom, boom.
We're not going to last very long.
So my joke, I had a funny joke, but I'm going to use my son's jokes. So yesterday I was in the car with Tricky, his son, and my son, and we're trying to find somewhere to eat. And my son just randomly started telling jokes.
Oh,
Literally,
bless.
randomly. And he said, knock, knock,
Who's
there?
there?
wooden shoe.
Wouldn't shoot who?
Wouldn't you like to poo?
Oh.
Now, my son puts poo in at the end of every single joke.
But you have to explain, how young is the young one?
He's 6.
There you go. So
His creativity is on point for a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, Tricky and his son could not stop laughing. And my son just got gassed. He's like,
Yeah.
wouldn't you poo? Everything had poo at the end. And then Tricky just couldn't. And I'm just like, all right, cool, I'm going to teeth that still. Was it funny?
It was funny.
For a 6-year-old?
It was
For a
creative.
6-year-old.
Very creative for a 6-year-old.
For a grownish year old?
No.
Do better, Hebs.
You could do better.
If I told you my original joke, it's disgusting. I wouldn't. It's not dirty, as in it's that terrible.
We're not Richard Pryor or Dave Chappelle or anyone like that.
Okay. Get your phones out.
What are we doing now?
Just get your phones out, man.
Does it matter if I have Android?
I mean, you're going to get buoyed off anyway. You probably need to load it, like 10 minutes to load. Let me know when it's loaded.
I'm ready.
All right, cool. Who do you use to listen to music? Spotify or Apple?
Yeah, Spotify.
Obviously.
Spotify.
All right, turn on your Spotify.
What was the last one I listened to?
Yeah. No, I want to see you do it. I don't want to see you like select like a quick tune.
No. I was listening to a podcast. The last thing I was listening to.
No,
I can actually.
on Spotify.
Yeah,
Such a nerd. Was it our podcast?
it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no! Shoot, mine started playing.
No, it's
I'm
cool.
not-
Go on. You
I'm
can
not
start.
gonna-
Play it. The mic's there, my dear.
I don't know who this is. Who is this?
I don't know. Please hold the line.
No.
No,
And for Rose, Tangier.
I've never heard of her.
I like
It sounds
it.
like some lift music. The instrumental.
Maybe
No,
it's
no.
the
Or
way
Nando's
my
vibe.
phone
Is
is
it-
playing the sound, but
Is it music that is close to you? Home or
it came
As far as being close to her
It
chest
came
with the
on-
phone. Yeah.
came on my recommended and I liked it.
No.
Do you know what? Recommended music
Yeah,
sometimes.
it slaps.
So mine, if I wasn't stuck in traffic, it would have been NSYNC.
Oh.
It's gonna be me. And I thought that's not really gangster, innit? So luckily.
No, wait, no, you have to. Yeah, that
No,
was it.
I swear to God, wallahi, I'm not lying to you. This is the last tune that I'm playing. You might not know it.
Is this what you were playing when you were pulling up?
I don't know who this is. What is
It's
wrong with
Shaka.
What's wrong with your speakers? No, seriously, those speakers.
It's gone through some war.
Those speakers sound terrible.
So would you like to sample yours?
What? The last thing.
I need evidence that you listen to.
The last thing. The last.
It wasn't.
It
It
wasn't.
wasn't.
It
Grown Up
wasn't.
British.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. It wasn't. The last thing was I was listening to
Nah,
Free
disrespect.
Shots.
3 shots?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I was actually listening to them when I was getting dressed today.
Yeah, the
had
last
them
one
on.
about when they were talking to the infamous Uncle Paul.
Yeah. He's not Uncle Paul though. He's Paul the Provider, no?
Paul the Provider.
Do you know
Paul
what's
the
funny though?
Provider.
In the beginning of that episode, it looked like he was like kid in the corner, no one's chatting to him.
It was interesting.
Everyone was talking and he's like this. I'm like, is anyone going to bring him in? Like,
It was
welcome
interesting. He
guest.
didn't have a lot to say.
He really didn't.
He didn't have a lot to say, and I think that
And didn't Mr. Expose say something like, "Oh, you said this like 3 times. What does that mean?" He said, "You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?" Like he was swerving.
I think we've all realised from watching 4 or 5 of these episodes that Paul is not very articulate.
I love his noises.
And look, any Nigerian
War,
knows,
yes. Your household's a war.
any Nigerian knows. You don't even
I
need to
love
make
No,
Yeah.
those sounds communicate a lot.
a lot.
A lot.
Even if you were due to hand signs.
Literally.
It's like that guy. Have you guys seen the guy who he doesn't say a word, but he'll show you the correct way
Yeah,
of doing
doing
things,
it. Yeah.
and his facial expression and hand gestures
that
are
reach-
enough
has that
to
reach
tell
already?
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has that stop it, man? Stop sending missiles. Don't need to come my way, please. I beg.
All right, cool.
I don't need this.
If you could eat one food for the rest of your life,
This feels like a first date. When you go on a date, she asking questions.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
it's
Go ahead.
someone's first date watching us. So
Go ahead.
it
Go
is
ahead.
what it is.
Go ahead.
If you could have one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? And it's been a minute since you've been on a date, so let's do this.
Technically, no, but okay. No, go on, Fizz.
Why you got to think about this?
Because there are plenty of food that I like. I can't choose one. One food.
One that you would
One.
happily eat every day for the rest of your life.
No, I'll get bored.
Spicy prawn curry.
Do you know what? That's actually good because it's not too heavy. Because if I was to say chicken every single day, that's disgusting.
But you
Even
can-
though I eat chicken every single day because I'm disgusting.
But you can cook chicken in so many different ways.
You can
But so
cook,
can
cook
prawn as
prawns in so
well.
many different
But
ways.
you be specific.
You did
Specifically,
specify.
but that's because I love spicy prawn curry. I
And
could
it's 'cause
eat
it's
that
got
every day.
coconut in it as well.
No, without the coconut. So it's even spicier.
Oh,
Bengali
Alright.
style.
I'm going to say chicken. Because there are a lot of things that you
Chinken.
can do from chicken. You said a food.
a
So
food.
with that food, you can do so many things with it.
I agree.
Yeah.
So you can no, you can, I was going to
But
say
very
boil.
versatile.
You can barbecue, you can grill, you can stir fry, you can.
But where's the stir fry?
But-
It's just chicken.
What do you mean?
No one said you can get oil with it. Or
Says
you can get
no,
seasoning
so you want me
with
to eat
it.
raw chicken?
You just get the sunlight and some wood fire.
Wow.
What land am I?
Some
am I cooking
medium
this in?
rare chicken.
Listen.
Never. Never.
All right, I'll give you a serious one. What one bit of advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh. Go on, Fizz.
Don't care about what people say or think. Do it for
Okay.
yourself.
Have you learnt that as an adult?
Oh, 100%. I wouldn't be sitting here today if I didn't learn that lesson.
so true.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you, girl.
Yeah.
Oh, my sweaty palms. Oh, sorry.
High five.
He's not going to high five you even if he was close.
Stop it.
Coronavirus.
COVID cough.
It's not. It's not.
It's COVID cough.
How about you, sir?
What advice I would give to my younger self?
Yeah.
Whatever you're thinking of doing, just do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it.
So ignore the self-doubt.
Because by the time you started thinking about it, and by the time you started analyzing, I overanalyze everything. I overanalyze the things where I say what can go wrong and what could go right. By the time you've done that, you've already talked yourself out of it and you don't want to do it. Just get up and just do it. And just fail. Fail quickly and fail fast.
So you can learn.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't mean anything illegal.
No.
If you want a shot, just go ahead and do it.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no,
no.
fraud,
don't,
just do
don't,
it.
don't
Well,
do that.
See that
Even-
credit card at home? That's not yours?
Even my dad
Use
said,
it.
he said to me, you have to be smart, then you have to be so smart because if you want to be a criminal, you have to be smarter than the people that are trying to catch you because if you won't, they'll catch you.
Yep.
I feel like now you are encouraging negative behavior.
No, I'm not. Not at all. I'm just
You
saying.
just got to be smart.
For me, it
Yeah.
was always overthinking stuff. So just do what you're doing and just try it. If you fail fast, and you'll be good. At least you know you've tried.
What would yours be?
Mine, obviously, you guys touched on very, very good points. Mine would be the one bit of advice that I think about now when I reflect. Why did I rush to get old?
That's
Like,
true.
oh,
Yeah.
Why are we
yeah.
rushing to get to like when I was like trying to get to 16? Oh my god, now everyone thinks I'm still young. I got to be 18. Oh, no, I got to be
Yeah,
21. It's like I'm rushing to all these ages. I'm rushing to achieve all these things. That I'm literally like fast forwarding through life as opposed to appreciating it.
And now that we're grownish, we want time to slow down. And it's not slowing down.
Clock needs to go back a little
Yes,
bit.
it's not
No,
slowing
not
down.
for me.
You're happy.
The
You're
thing
content.
is, what happens is when you get to a certain age, this isn't even with myself. When you get to a certain age, you're able to just do what you want to do. You just be happy with
Yeah.
that. When you're younger, you have to abide by these rules, and the restrictions are there based on your age. When you get to not even when you're in your 20s, because you're still trying to figure stuff out. When you get to late 20s and then early 30s, hopefully you're comfortable in your skin. You'll be able to be on the ascent to be where you're going. And in some circumstances, you're able to do the things that you want to do. So that gives you an opportunity to explore a lot of things that dreams and aspirations that you wanted to be able to, you couldn't do when you were younger.
Can I ask, do you feel that's a little bit different for women in comparison to men? Like, in the sense that I don't have like, even as an adult, like, I feel like you guys, you mature differently in the sense that, let's just say having children, you don't have to worry about age the way we do. Like, there's certain things career-wise, you guys mature and reach a certain peak. Like, there's certain things that we're on different lanes and different paces. So I think, like, when we're aging, we have achieved X, Y, and Z. Whereas with you, I feel like time is still on your side.
No, I disagree.
Okay.
Here's why.
Go on.
As a man in the internet age, you're bombarded with other males that have X, Y, and Z, have cars, have women, have everything, that they just, social media is a thing where they put it out there. So everything is everyone's highlights.
So the
and
pressure's there.
Everyone's highlights and everyone's good bits.
Yeah.
And none of the bad bits or the progress that you need to be able to attain that status. So as a man, you're sitting there, you'd be like, well, he has this, why don't I? Perfect example. Graduate university and you see all your friends. The day you graduate, you'll be like, oh, where are you going to work? Oh, I'm going to work for JP Morgan, just for example. Oh, where are you going to work? I'm going to work for this consulting. Or I'm working for this bank. I'm working for this. And then you sit there, you'll be like, so what are you doing? I haven't figured it out yet.
That's
You
okay, to
haven't
be
even
honest.
come into the real world.
I think that's
and you're
fair.
already competing against each other with the
But
jobs
that
that you've
happens
got.
to women and men, to be
Yeah,
fair.
100%. I think that...
But I think this is a whole other topic that we can really deep into. I think the
Trust me.
pressures of adult, is it the word adulting that you use?
Adulting, yes.
I learned
It's
so many
hard.
random words from you.
I make some of
do
it
you know,
up.
Was it age mates?
Yeah.
I never used it
Age
until I
mates.
met Fizz.
You've never said age mates.
No, and ever since she
Age
said it,
mates.
people want to start using it.
But it's age mate is just there. Everyone uses it. It's
No,
just-
you're just either older.
or younger. No, you're,
Younger.
not your age mate. That's what my dad used to say. I'm not your age mate.
Yeah.
See, I've never heard it until you said it.
Yeah.
No, I don't know about this. All right, one more thing. Do you rehearse any calls before you make them? So do you rehearse before you make any important calls?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
what?
because you
Give me an
have
example.
when I call my doctor's surgery. for
Don't
an
lie.
appointment,
You're chatting
Getting past
nonsense.
the receptionist is like playing Street Fighter.
Level 1.
so true. That's so true. That's so
Literally,
true.
when you get to Hadouken stage and you can finally get your
Hadouken,
appointment,
Hadouken.
you kind of have to rehearse it a little bit along the way.
Cheese and bread. So are you there, like looking at the cheat codes and making sure you can do uppercuts and back heel kisses?
The cheat code is figuring out the number of times you make the call to finally get through to the phone line and how you need to keep ringing, the spacing of
That's
calls.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's hard
about
work. So I
yourself?
definitely rehearsed that call.
What about yourself?
I rehearse sometimes for maybe important calls. I go through them in my head, but most of the time, I say like 60-70% of the time, it's just freestyle.
Yeah.
I freestyle quite a bit.
I think that's me too. The only time I rehearse, if I've got an interview and my anxiety's kicking in, I build myself up by just rehearsing more and more. But other than that, I only rehearse lies if I have to call up my manager. As in back in the day, innit, when you're having to like call up and go,
allegedly.
what happened?
If people are watching, allegedly.
I mean, I don't even remember my boss's name.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Put allegedly.
These are
under this
past employment.
one. Yeah. No current.
I mean, do you know what? Do you know I drove past Whiteley's?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know like it doesn't exist?
Where is it?
What?
They've like removed most of the structure. I just drove past it and I'm like, but where is it? So our childhood's going.
Good memories were there.
Exactly. So I can put a reference to Whiteley still. But there's nothing there. It doesn't stand anymore.
Wow.
So guys, we're going to be talking about therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we touched on it previously on the episode on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you ain't seen it, get to know.
Coming to more platforms very soon.
Yes, sir. YouTube included. So with therapy, the first thing I want to ask you guys, culturally growing up, did you even know about therapy like when you were younger in your household? Was that ever a thing?
No. Just straight up no. It was never an option to consider for mental health.
Did you even know about therapy?
No, I didn't. Honestly, I only really understood what therapy was maybe going into college when people were picking things like psychology to study because they want for A levels because they wanted to then pursue it maybe in university and take on more like psychotherapy or counselling type of degrees so that they can become qualified counsellors. But that would be, you know, when you're 16, 17, 18. Before that, no idea that therapy was a thing.
That's interesting. What about you, Ben?
I knew of therapy in my later years.
How long? How old?
Oh, this was
Would you say?
mid to late 20s.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So
Sorry.
what was that?
I'm not lying.
Was that a sneeze?
Mid to late 20s when
that
I
a sneeze?
understand about therapy.
Was that a sneeze?
Yes, it was a sneeze.
Bless you. Allow me
Thank
to
you.
bless you.
Thank you. What blessing am I getting?
I don't know. When we say it, we pray for the best.
So yeah, it was mid to late 20s. But when I was growing up, no, it wasn't something that was ever discussed or I knew about. I don't think it was a stigma. It just wasn't something that I knew about. I didn't know anything about it until probably when I get to university. That's when I
Yeah.
first heard what there is a course
People
that
studying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why emotions take like this. So think about it this way: when you get to school and you have a child
Yeah.
that just wants to be by themselves, they're called a lone wolf. Now you're looking at the child and being like, okay, how can we help him? Maybe he has anxiety, maybe he has ADHD,
Yeah.
maybe he just wants to. I'm reading a book with my son now by Lupita called Sulwe, and she's exploring why, cause she's darker than everyone else in her family. And she is dealing with not being able to make friends. And she prays to God and she's like, God, please help me, make me lighter so I can be with I can make friends. All she wants to do is make friends.
Yeah, that's all she's desperate to do.
All she
Yeah.
wants to do is make friends.
And how old is she in this book?
Oh, there's no age.
Okay.
There's no age in the book. But let's just say for the fact that she understands that she's darker than everyone in her family, she must be at least 5 or 6, maybe.
Okay,
a bit
Yeah.
older.
so young, yeah. Okay.
So my son, I read it to my son, and at the end of it, he goes, and reaches out at the pictures to Solwe, and it's like, oh yeah, she's good now. Anything, read the book, it's really, really good. But that sort of psychological analysis and those emotions that the book goes through wasn't explored when I was younger. The books that I read were just, well, no, where's Wally?
As
The
in,
Hungry
as in people
Caterpillar.
weren't talking about it.
People weren't
Yeah.
talking
It
about
did
it.
exist, but no one actually spoke about it. Okay.
I went to the library and what was the books that we read when we were younger? Goosebumps.
Horror story. What's
Horror
it called? Haunted
Them
Horrors, I
books where you
can't remember.
pick the ending, where you pick, you make a choice and it takes you.
and
to
it takes you to that
I don't know
specific
about this,
page.
though. I don't have
Yeah,
this in
when
my
there's like,
library.
do you want to do this? Go to page 33. Do you want to do this? Go to page 52.
Didn't they do that on YouTube
Heba
with
had
some
it
ghetto
deprived.
thing? I remember they choose your ending. Do you want them to go
Yeah,
do this
well,
move or that move?
So yeah, that was it wasn't. It's just I think as we grow older and as we have children or we're exposed to that sort of narrative, you're seeing the differences between when you grew up and when. And
But
people are just changing.
We also live in an age of information now. Things are so much more readily available to us than
100%.
ever before. It comes with its pros and cons. So things like, if you're having physical symptoms of an illness, you Google
Don't
it. Google
Google.
tells you you're
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
So
100%.
there's that. That's the negative side of it. But the great side of it, the positive side of it, is you can actually, at your very fingertips from your phone, find out a lot of information.
Honestly, yeah.
And it's easy to share the information as well. Everyone has a similar level of accessibility. So you find out about something, you share it with your friends, they then share it with their friends, things spread. So being able to talk about these things is possible now because we have
Yeah.
the function to be able to do it.
So for me, when I was younger, I didn't know about therapy till I was 16, and I only stumbled across it because my sister was seeing a therapist, and I found out God knows how, and I didn't know what that was, so I had to
Do your
Google?
research.
I don't know what. Yeah, I think I spoke to someone. They're like, oh yeah, they speak to them. Before that, therapy didn't exist. Like my parents didn't know she was going to therapy. It was like a private thing. But my parents didn't have their therapy was praying, turning
Right,
to
yeah.
God's.
Being very spiritual.
Yeah, like if something's not going right or if you're struggling with something, pray more, like do more right, and God will kind of help you and ease it off. And I think just generally, I think our circle or our culture, like my mom's from Sudan, my dad's from Egypt, and I feel like their culture was very much a taboo. You don't really talk about problems and they don't leave the household. So everything's in-house. And it is what it is. So therapy wouldn't have been a discussion
It
point.
wasn't an option.
Yeah.
And when my mum found out about therapy, she's like, "Oh, so you're telling people our problems,
Yeah.
and how they're gonna look at you,
I
how they're
think
gonna
that's-
judge
yeah.
you."
Yeah.
And it's just like, but you don't understand. It's actually professional, and they're not there to kind of give you their views. They're just there to like,
It's to facilitate
Yeah,
and
to
be able to
facilitate.
explore.
absolutely.
So one of the things that I kind of want to explore about therapy is the fact that it's a Western concept.
Right.
So culturally speaking, Hebs, what you said about your parents, I don't think it's alien to me and Ben from different parts of the world to hear that and relate to that. It's the same for my parents. It's not something that would have been encouraged, because talking to others about your problems was like airing your dirty laundry, and they wouldn't understand the private setting that is in, the confidentiality around it. And it's definitely something that we as British kids have access to. It's the benefit of growing up here, that we can celebrate both sides of our cultures, which is the British culture, the Western culture of speaking about problems. A problem shared is a problem halved kind of mentality, but then also the cultural side of it. What happens with therapy is we want to go to therapy to help solve our problems, but we conceal it from family because culturally it's still a bit of a taboo.
Yeah.
And then the other aspect of it is because it's still quite a Western ideology, like going to therapy and stuff. One of the things that I spoke about before when we were talking about blue therapy was the fact that they didn't use a black or other ethnicity therapist, because some of the problems we're facing do stem from cultural things that we've grown up with.
That's literally what I said to you and Bex. I'm like, I don't know why it's bothering me, but we need, I don't know, I feel like a black therapist.
Yeah,
100%. But
because the cultural clashes and the identity clashes that we face are so different to someone who is just Western, just, you know, European or Anglo-Saxon or whatever you want to use to describe it. That, you know, they don't have the dual aspect of the cultural identity that we have. We have to switch it up. At school we speak English, at home we speak our home language. That's not something that is for someone who's native to this country, in the sense that, you know, they're English, they don't necessarily have that. So when they go to therapy and they talk about their problems, I don't want to say they're English problems, they're human problems, but they're dealt with in English ways, as in, you know, some of the suggestions. I remember me and my friends having conversations about how to deal with problems. And the recommendation is always, why don't you talk to this person who's making you feel this way? Why don't you talk to your
me?
And it's like,
This is why I'm here.
this is why I'm here. Exactly. And this is something that I feel like, you know, if we're talking about therapy, I'd love to see more brown and black therapists to support brown and black people. And there's actually a really cool Instagram page called Brown Girl Therapy that I follow.
Oh, wow.
Really, really lovely posts talking about cultural crisis and cultural identity and stuff like that.
So is it like a podcast, or what is it?
No, it's just basically a really it's a small page, but it's really great in the sense of it helps to identify certain feelings that you're having and give it a name towards it. Okay. So I remember talking to you about something about cultural like regression. So when our parents leave the country that they've come from to move to somewhere else, they have a view that the culture that they grew up with is still the same. Yeah. It's still the same as it is when they left 20 years ago. But they forget to understand that that culture has moved on. It's a massive shock to them. Yeah. They've raised us in another country with the same culture that they've grown up in. And so we're behind. And when we go to visit our home countries, when we go to visit our families and cousins, we're like, hold on a second.
We're getting a culture shock because we're going back home and they're more Western than us.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wait. And they think we're meant to be more popping than them because we're the London lot.
We're the London lot. Yeah, literally, those are the kind of comments we get. So there is actually a term for that. And I didn't know that there was a whole term for that until I came across that post on the Brown Girl Therapy page.
Interesting.
So they also try to connect people, and they also try to identify other black and brown therapists to help people out, which I think is really important. So
do you agree with the point, with the fact that we feel that obviously we said that having someone of a similar race, or let's just say, I hate the word BAME, but someone of a BAME background helps when you're going to therapy?
Yeah, 100%. Just like Fizz has already touched on, and you touched on as well, is the fact that you have the ability to be considerate to those challenges that someone will come from on the same background as you. That's why in America, people, and I never got this before, in America, people would be like, I want a black architect, or I want a black so-and-so. But just get anyone, get the person that's good at the job. It's like, no, I want that because they will understand how I want it from where I'm coming from. Number one. Number two, you're also giving opportunities to people that didn't have opportunities before to be able to be put in those positions. So that is something that's really, really important. And one thing that something that happened this week or last week. So SZA is, I think she's getting ready to either drop her an album or something. And she's doing a lot of press runs, and she's doing a lot of magazine shoots.
Nice.
So in multiple of these magazine shoots, she's asked the editor of the magazine, can you get a black photographer to be able to take pictures of me? a lot of the magazines said yes. She said it to one of them. Magazine said no. She didn't even put it out to say which magazine said it to
she's
her.
not trying. She's not trying
So
to
she
put
just
them
said,
past, yeah.
She just said, I wanted to do this because I wanted a black photographer to take pictures of me. Now, if you are not black and someone comes to you with that request, you're thinking, the first thought you would think would be like, no, why would I do that? You give it to the best person. But what you're saying, and especially for a woman, and please chime in if I derail in any sense.
Go for it.
There are things that, even as a black man, that I don't understand that black women go through.
Mm-hmm.
There are things and angles and shots and ways to make a black woman look powerful, strong, elegant, not beautiful, all of that stuff that she wants to be able to portray.
She's got a vision that she wants to see through.
She has a vision and she wants someone that looks like her to be like, that's my vision. You should understand
I'm
where I'm
sure
coming
there's like
from.
maybe one white photographer that actually
probably more.
vibes
Yeah.
and understands on levels.
We
but
call
I understand.
them allies. There
Yes,
are allies
the
out
allies
there
out there.
that will be able to see that vision and be like, right, I know how to do that.
Yeah,
There are people that do that.
Yeah.
But I just want to raise a really valid point.
go.
The first thing you said when you walked into this room and saw that screen and the camera
Yeah.
was, am I going to show up on screen?
It's the truth.
It's the truth. So, not that I'm a black woman, but I hope I can understand and I hope what I'm saying makes sense. But you saying that as a man. So, as women, we're also concerned about how our skin looks, how our hair looks and stuff like that. And for black women, the darker your skin, you're going to be more concerned about, are my features going to show?
Yeah.
Am I going to look am I going to be in shadow or am I going to be washed
Do
out?
they
Are they going to
fully
try
understand?
and brighten
Yeah.
it so much that I now look completely different? And then also hair texture. Like if you've spent ages making your natural hair look beautiful, you want a photographer to be able to capture that texture. So I completely agree with Cesar on getting a black photographer in because they're going to understand how to balance the light, how to make sure that her skin tone is being shown off in the most beautiful way, to make sure that the light is being captured in the curls of her hair in the most flattering way. And that may be something that a white photographer might not know. Not saying that they don't know it.
Just because they haven't dealt
They
with
just
that
not
before.
experienced
Just
it.
not exposed
So,
to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something quite is it outlandish, but basically, I feel like there are also some people who are third culture, who are, we'll use British, i.e., the second generation in the UK, who kind of almost reject their culture and they become very British. Like when they
Yeah.
go, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Britain. What nationality? Oh, yeah, I'm English. Like they don't want to like appreciate. I feel like
Are you talking about Provider Paul?
I
Okay.
mean, no,
Yeah.
because there's some people. He's still got the African in him. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's no matter how much he'll still relate to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if he's trying to deny his heritage,
I don't
But
think
there
he
are-
is, but he's just
being a
It
wind
just
up, man.
came across that way, yeah.
But for me, I feel like there's some people who won't, or they'll refuse to sort of understand you because they're trying to disconnect from their own. Like there's a lack of self-love and there's a lack of like, I want to be as British as possible so I can be accepted. That I'm almost denying my heritage and I don't know what my cultural food is, or like they grew up on it but they didn't. It's like it's like a level of hate as a reflection of maybe what they were exposed to as kids. And I know a few of them.
So I was gonna say I would say until a
Come
few
on,
years
man,
ago,
girl.
sorry, I would actually say if
Go.
someone asked me where are you from, I'd be like
Yeah, she's
London.
like me.
I would say London, and then people would probe a bit more. But there's levels to it, not because I was denying my culture or not experiencing the food or the clothing or anything. I'm proud to do all of those things, but the reason why was because being Bengali was not considered.
Bengali bombshell. Thank you.
a Bengali bombshell.
Listen, her
Her DMs
DMs are
DM.
popping, innit?
Okay.
Bengali bombshell. That's a new intro, by the way. We've got Bengali bombshell on the
No,
side.
this is not how I want to be identified.
No?
But it wasn't seen as a. So I don't know if you guys got this feeling, but when I was in secondary school, like primary school, secondary school, being of certain ethnicities or certain cultural backgrounds was more popular than being from others.
Yeah.
So Bengali was not viewed as one of them. Because of the sort of nature, the history of the way they migrated. They were manual laborers, like low-skilled manual laborers, seen very poorly by everyone. So white, black, it doesn't matter. Everyone looked at them really poorly. There's other ethnicities too that were viewed incredibly poorly. And it's only now, because we're being encouraged to celebrate our diversity, that these cultures are now being celebrated as something beautiful. But it didn't feel like that growing up. It really did feel like...
So were you, not without sounding disrespectful, but were you trying to be more white? Is it who you couldn't fit with black girls because you weren't black?
I wasn't... So straight up, no, I wasn't trying to be white. I wasn't trying to be black or anything. What I was trying to be was ambiguous. I just wanted to fit in where I could fit in. And lessening my cultural identity kind of helped with that. One of the comments that I get even to this day is, where are you from? And when I say, they're like, you don't look it. What the heck does a Bengali even look like? But
trust me.
Yeah. The kind of comments you'll get is, oh, but you look like you're from this part of the world.
Do you know what's interesting? I was literally at my cousin's engagement, and he got engaged to an Egyptian lady, absolutely stunning, and her family were all there. When I tell you, the shades were literally us three.
Yeah.
And we're all Egyptian. But then when someone meets me and they go, where are you from? Egypt? Oh, okay. Or like from Egypt, Sudan. They're like, okay, I expect you to be a bit this or a bit that. I'm like, okay, sorry. So you know the history?
Yeah.
But when I'm referring to people who lack of identity or they're denying their identity, that's not you, because you're not denying, like, you're proud to be Bengali in the sense that you're very cultural and you're very aware, but it just helped you get through certain. But some people have taken it to another level
where they deny
completely, where I'm just like, I know someone who said, I don't chat to my friend. Like, no, there's one guy I know, he said, I don't chat to my sister anymore because she thinks she's better than us and she's adopted to the white culture. And she's Nigerian. So to the point where she doesn't even chat to her mum. Or that's what I'm saying. So to me, it's like, so to an extent, if she really wants to, if she was a therapist, she'll still understand certain things will resonate with her. So even when he's doing certain sounds, if you use pause as an example, she'll feel that. But whether she wants to understand it or she wants to block it out, and that's where her biased point of view would come in. So it's a bit of a... You'd have to really have a messy conversation.
When they say she's lost her culture and she's gone over to the white side,
she thinks she's more superior than them because she's now...
But okay, so this is one of the things that I'm trying to challenge people about, where we relate to anyone of any ethnicity, any melanin in their skin. If they're well spoken, if they're eloquent, they're seen to be acting white. When they're speaking ghetto or urban, they're seen to be acting black. And I really disagree with those terms. Like,
I agree.
You're acting white, you're acting black.
No, you're
really
adaptable.
Hate that.
You articulate yourself differently.
Yeah. So, but that's what I mean. Like, is it that she's acting white because she's eloquently spoken, but she actually does think she's better?
She genuinely locked them off because she's embarrassed of her family. Embarrassed.
Wow.
Like, I
don't understand.
Like, literally, it's actually quite
That's
sad.
such a shame.
But, so to me, it's like, do I want a therapist that's got that mindset?
You have to have someone that can relate to you. Because when Paul was making those sort of comments and he was doing the ad-libs and he was doing the, if the therapist was Nigerian, she would just be looking at him.
Yeah, she'd literally want to laugh at his face.
Look at this one.
But, you know, I've raised this before. When Paul talked about the Christmas food issue,
the importance
of having, you know, traditional Nigerian food within his family Christmas setting.
She turned up with,
and Choma turned up with pasta bake.
Anyone
like,
would know.
That therapist didn't get it. But I sat there going, girl, why did you do this?
Denise.
Even Paul should have told her.
Yeah, it's Paul. Yeah. No, I mean, to be fair, she should know better.
No, she should know better.
Food.
But even Paul should have told her, what is this?
Yeah. Before she even committed.
But this is why I think it's... Okay, I don't want to talk about it even more, but because, you know, to an extent, it's questionable whether it's real or not. Because she went from, I'm cooking in some...
palm oil and
to pasta bake. So to me, it doesn't balance out.
Suspect.
Yeah, so for me, it's like...
We've already queried the legitimacy of this show, but it was, you know, just using that as an example.
That is a great example.
Why having a black therapist or anyone from a cultural background would understand the significance of that, because she was raising the issue of his sister doesn't like me. If it started from this pasta bake incident, his sister's probably clinging on to the fact she's not understood the cultural expectations that the family have on her.
I think even deeper. For example, if we went to therapy and we're speaking about like our parents giving us beatings growing up, right?
Cheese and bread.
Straight away it'll be like, to no disrespect, but to a white person by book they'll be like, all right, this is a social services issue.
Exactly.
It's just a whatever issue. Whereas a non-white person, non-European person might go, all right, cool, we've all had licks before, let's just study the degree. Is this abuse or is this just a beating because you've done something stupid, or you're getting a lick in advance? Like, which one is it? So for me, it's like having that person who can actually almost be a soundboard of like culture. So understanding, all right, cool, this is to be expected.
Yeah.
If he felt embarrassed about something, okay, the male ego in certain cultures are much higher than other males.
Yeah.
So it's just being mindful of like, certain girls, this is how they hold themselves in their culture. So they're able to identify these small traits.
Yeah.
And a lot of the issues we cover are linked back to honor. So about, how to, are your actions, regardless of how big or small, are they causing dishonor to your family? And what impact does that have on your mental health and your mental well-being and stuff? And, if I went to a white therapist and tried to explain how this is going to have an impact
just
on
run
the honor,
away.
They're not going to get, not even run away. Why don't you sit down and have a chat with, I've never been to therapy, so I'm making an assumption here based on conversations that I've had with people. They always say, if you're having conflict in the family, why don't you write them a letter?
Huh?
Excuse me, what?
Put evidence.
Yeah, write them a letter or explain how you're feeling, or try to sit down and chat to them. It literally is.
It's literally
You're writing your own obituary then and there. Yeah.
The funny thing, when I was growing up, and how do I explain it? When I was growing up, if I had a feeling of not mainly just disappointment, or I felt like I didn't want to do something, or I felt I was angry, you weren't allowed to have those feelings.
Yeah.
No, you weren't allowed.
Yeah.
So my dad would just be like, what do you mean you don't shut up and just do what I told you? There was no negotiation. There was no, how do you feel? It's just do as I say, not as I do. So that was how we were raised. So when you go to therapy, people are like, yeah, I'm having trouble with my dad. He does this. Not saying that I am, but he does this, he does that. Why don't you talk to him? Talk to him how?
Yeah.
How am I, for what?
Yeah.
How are you going to...
I already had one slap today, I'm good.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
You had something that you disagree with your pops about or your mum about.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Did you ever think about like running away?
I did.
Oh my God,
Did you ever pack a bag?
Yes.
No, I just ran.
You actually ran!
I ran, bruv. My
How far
parents...
did you get?
So, that's what I'm saying. I used to live in Highbury. Because even up till now, there are traits that you have inside of you, not running away. God forbid my son ever does this. You have traits that you have that you just like to do. So when I'm in trouble, or not when I'm in trouble, when I feel depressed or something, I just walk. I just walk. And I just walk. And I just like to walk. And I just like... I remember specifically when I broke up with my girlfriend in university. I walked so far in London, in central London. I think I walked from Highbury to Oxford Street, and then I walked all the way to up past Marble Arch, everywhere. I was looking for a space where there was no people. I just wanted to be by myself.
So you went into Central
London.
I didn't have any. There was no logic of what I was doing.
Why there's so many people? Why is the game
Just
busier?
walked. So
Bro, you're
going back to
completely
when I ran away, it wasn't running away. I went for a walk. I went to in Highbury. I walked all the way up Holloway Road. I just kept on walking to Archway. I got to Archway Station. I said, what am I even doing here? I turned around. I came back.
So they never quite knew you ran away.
They knew because my dad was in his car and he was looking for me.
Oh, you got lit.
And then and then I came back. I was actually at a childminder's. I came back to the childminder and she said, I don't even know whether to kiss you or to beat you.
Yeah.
Because
that's how I feel my son sometimes. Oh my God, I had that feeling a few times.
Because you just run away and
you're so vexed, you don't know what to do.
I don't even know what to do. But yeah, that happened.
Quick story time in regards to beating. I told you this story
Yeah.
before. Coronavirus, phase 1, right? First lockdown, everyone's freaking out, queues outside, tissue roll gone, everything, whatever.
Toilet roll gone.
Toilet roll gone. And my son decided to call me Asda. I'm like, all right, Khalil, just put your hands in your pocket or hold on to mummy.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, don't touch anything. He's like, okay, mummy. He follows me. Everything's good. Well behaved, amazing boy. Get to the freezer section. Speaking to the guy, asking him who's got an ice cream. Look away, look back. My son's got his mouth on the bar.
Yeah.
I fling him off it. I don't know if I want to like slap him and throw him in the bin and make a new child, or hug you out of like freak out. And then he's like, I'm like, what did you do, Khalil? He's like, nothing, mummy. I said, what? I'm like, your tongue. He's like, I put my hands in my pocket. And I'm like,
Clever
my
guy.
G. And then he was like,
Clever guy.
the best part is that I put disinfectant and sanitizer in my
Nah,
mouth.
leave it.
I'm
Don't do a
like,
Donald Trump and make him
Shall
eat
we try it
bleach.
and see? The worst case, I make another child.
Make it wash his mouth out with soap or
That is
with.
cool, but after that he learned, and after that I thought, no, do you know what? I'm only going Asda without him. But yeah, I know that feeling. You don't know whether to punch him or hug him at the same time. Please don't call social services. I didn't do that to him.
Just a disclaimer, just there.
Did not do that to him.
He's good. He's good.
He's a cool kid. He's laughing.
He is.
Check out my Instagram.
I've seen it, man. You gotta be. What football pitch were you at?
Crystal Palace. So there was an event.
This one is living life. I see you. Oh, you put the eyes there. I just put the eyes there, bro.
Yeah, you did that.
I see.
And I sent him
I see.
eyes back. I'm like,
I see, bro.
I'm trying to understand his eyes talking.
Yeah.
I can know what to reply with.
I see you, see me. I see you, see you.
It was a really good event. Initially, I was like, hello, we're going to go and watch football. I don't want to watch football. There'll be other kids. Okay.
Oh, that's how you used to get bribed everywhere.
Yeah, because he's a bit of a, I won't say a bit of a loner, but because he just has friends in school and not outside. So whenever he gets a chance to
He
see
doesn't
other
have
kids-
age mates at home.
Age mates.
Yes, he does it. He has cats, fishes, and me.
Yeah.
Cats and fish.
Cute, though. Oh, yeah, fishes is not a word, is it?
A fish.
What's the plural of fish?
Fish.
A school of fish.
A school of fish. Plural of fish is fish.
Listen, that's how my mum fishes.
You eat fish. You don't eat fishes.
So, you said you haven't done therapy before.
No.
Have you done therapy?
I have.
What kind of therapy have you done?
I don't know whether it's counselling or. I
How
don't know.
old were you when you did it?
Oh, this was recent. This was. I don't mind. It was maybe 7 years ago. 5, maybe. No, maybe only 5 or 6. 5 probably. I would say.
You go by yourself.
Yeah, 100%. All by myself. Found the person by myself.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, I did everything. I was like, I want to talk to someone, not anyone in my family. I'm serious.
No,
new
that's
friend.
really good.
I'm
No, but
serious.
as in you actually-
That is so good
when
because
you- go on.
I was just going to say the fear of going to speak to someone
Oh,
and
I was-
unburdening yourself.
I wasn't
That's what
scared.
stops me from going, which I mentioned before. It stops me from going. So for the fact that you've done it is amazing.
Yeah, there was no fear in my heart. I was just like, let's just see what this is about. I want to talk to someone about some stuff. So let me booked it. It was good because at the end of it, she said, we had, let's say, about 6 or 7 sessions. And at the end of the 6th or 7th one, she said, there's no point you being here. We've explored some stuff. I don't think there's anything else to explore. And I don't want to just take your money for no reason. So she said, I think that's it.
That's
yeah,
a really good therapy.
but that's the truth.
Yeah.
Tell me about your right foot.
Exactly. No, there's no point in us wasting time.
No,
If we've explored some things and she's given me some advice, I try to put them into practice.
Is there anything that you've learned that you feel that you've now almost told other people about, not about your life, but as in something that you've been able to use or adapt or how to see things as a result of therapy?
Yeah. Me as a person, how I react to things. In the sense that when I want to do something serious, especially when I'm talking with someone, if I want to do something serious and I feel that I'm either wrong or I'm saying something wrong or I'm getting pushback, I used to be like, oh no, I was only joking. So I'd play it off
you're
as
that
if
guy.
I
That
don't
joking
want,
guy.
but I'm deadly serious about it. So I say things I can't. We drove. Fizz drove. Me and Fizz drove. I picked her up. If I was to say, I can't pick you up today,
Yeah.
and then she'd
And
be
I
like, no, I
challenged you on
really,
it.
I'd be
Yeah.
like, no, I was only joking. I really,
You don't want to let them down.
I can't pick her up because I'm going to be late or there's this or this
Yeah.
or this. But no, I was only joking. I can.
Yeah.
I'd rather put myself out than disappoint or that was me in the past. Because and I did that in my relationship when I want something from my partner, and she's like, "No, I'm not. I was only joking. I was only joking. I was only joking. I was only joking." But
What?
this one.
I
Square past
clocked it
that
a
one.
bit late.
Square past that one. But yeah, that was how I used, and I realized I had to grow.
I just picture something really nasty asking her, and I go, no. And go back to normal.
So no, serious. That could happen. Like, no, I was only joking.
I'm not nasty. What are you talking about? No, I hate you.
Side note: all women are disgusting.
Oh no, I'm Gusser completely.
All women
just
are
can't see it.
disgusting. You think that you've got the queen? No. Get them by themselves, and you'll see they're disgusting, absolutely horrendous. I'm telling you, they're disgusting.
I mean, it's not
Everything
not
that's
disgusting.
that's why I don't understand
place, yeah.
why guys go to
Yes.
strip clubs. I'm sorry, we divert. I'm just saying.
Stupid.
Yeah,
When
they're
you-
stupid.
Get yourself a wife.
When you've got your girlfriend at home, you got your wife or whoever at home, ask her to put it on and she'll dance for you. I'm telling you. He wants to go and
Okay, but for a woman to feel comfortable enough to do that kind of stuff, there's got to be some work that needs to go in. And the
are we
reason why
not grown-ish here?
we are grown-ish.
There you go.
But like, it's
get loads of pounds and go, come on.
No.
but like, as in, if you and your partner have disagreed about something and you've got ongoing tension, you're
Then
not,
that's not
and
gonna
then
happen. No,
exactly, it's not going to happen.
You're not both are not in the mood. It's not the right time.
But then for men who go to strip clubs, they'll just be like, oh, you know, the missus at home is pissing me off.
No.
So
I'll
rather
just
than
go drop
addressing the
some
problem,
dollars at the dollars.
I'd rather, that's why this took a side note, but just to say, I don't like strip clubs. I don't do. No, I'm being deadly serious. I just don't. I don't
their
understand.
souls are gone.
I don't understand the concept of that. You get excited and you go home for what?
You just got aroused for nothing.
For what?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know the caliber of women in the UK and what it's like in the strip club.
Oh, we got some.
You got some decent.
There are probably.
I like the way he says himself. Probably.
Probably.
I don't know.
No, come on.
Okay, so I went to therapy. I went to therapy by myself, but prior to that, I went as a couples therapy with my ex-husband, and it was my final resource. Wait,
Final
Last resort.
Last
Damn.
resort.
Last resort.
my last resort, to save the marriage. So my parents were like, "Oh no, just talk it out. Do this. Speak to an imam. Whatever. I've done all that. Family intervention.
But,
did all that.
Can I just stop you there? See, your parents said go speak to imam.
Yeah." Like, I can invite our local mosque guy to come and talk to us.
Was your ex-husband, was he Muslim?
Yeah.
Okay. So both, it was in the culture, it was in your religion. to
Yeah,
be able
like
to
his
do
mum. So he was a revert. So his mum was a church lady. So she would typically go to church and probably seek advice from there. So it wasn't unnatural for us to go to our religious circle
For guidance.
whether
Okay.
it's within Christianity or Islam. So yeah, we did all that stuff. Like, you know, for me, I know what the solution was, which is stop being damn stubborn and prideful. But for him, it's like anything I say. It's interesting because we go to therapy just to have someone facilitate exactly the same words you're going to say at home in public. But it's because somehow it's then reflected differently because of how they how they reword it or how they kind of tone it out. I don't know. But yeah, so we tried it as a couple. And I told you guys before, in the back of my mind, I'm like, please let be a male therapist. Turned up, women therapist, female therapist, and I was like, damn it, because already my ex had his back against the wall.
Yeah.
2 women, 1 guy. It's not happening.
Were you not able to pick?
No, I was pole at the time, so we had to go into those, basically the actual therapists who volunteer their services.
Right.
And then you donate an X amount of money. It's like a minimum donation, though. It's
Right,
still expensive-ish.
right.
But you don't get to then choose. You choose a location, so they have different. It's called marriage care, I think.
Oh dear.
Um,
The reason I say oh dear is because I feel that service should be free for all.
yeah.
I feel that service would be
But there's such a demand. You'd be so surprised.
Really?
There's such. We
Of
had to wait
course.
like I think 6 to 8 weeks.
You're saying, of course.
No, I'm saying of course
But
because I've
imagine how
looked
many
into getting
failed marriage-
therapy.
But let's say as a couple.
Yeah. As
Like-
a couple, but even as a single person.
Jeez,
So
and bread.
me looking into getting therapy.
Like a 12-week wait
I
minimum.
spoke to my GP about it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I was told that there's a 3 to 6 month waiting list to be seen by an NHS therapist.
Do you know?
So there's local services where you can get it like slightly
money.
cheaper, but it's still a long waiting. You have to join a waiting list to
Yeah,
then
yeah.
be it. You know, when it becomes available for you to then take part in those semi-subsidized ones, or I go private and.
Private
I
ones
can't,
are
but as in I
very-
can't afford that.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly. So for me, so I walked in, female therapist. Firstly, the whole wait thing. So when they give you finally give you an appointment, you don't get to choose a time. It's like this is your slotted time, and if you don't turn up once or whatever, then that's it. You lose it. That's how high the demand is, which is a reflection of how crap marriages are going. Like there's obviously a big issue when it comes to communication, even respect.
How long were you married for? Before you went to therapy?
Just before it ended. So I'd say 4 years, 3 years. But I was patient. Do you know how, like I do? I'm a very understanding person. So to me, I'm like, all right, the first year of marriage is known to be challenging. The highest rate in divorce is in the first year.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because
I got divorced in my first year of marriage.
Yeah,
But how long did you know your partner for?
it doesn't
About
matter,
two.
mate.
It doesn't matter.
It does, because
Doesn't-
that's
it
the
doesn't
span of
matter.
time.
No,
matter.
That's
because-
your life.
well, yeah.
No, how long did you know your partner before?
I knew him for a couple of years before we got married. We were married for just under a year, and then.
But
we
I knew
split.
my ex for 6 years before we got married. It doesn't make a difference because when you live together, it's a whole. We never lived together. Islamically, we can't live together.
Yeah.
So until you live with someone, which is why I say don't do this whole we got to date for an X amount of years, get engaged for X amount. Bro, you won't know. You'll continue to learn your partner for the rest of your damn life.
Believe that.
Yeah.
So
And it
There are
comes down
things
to
that I
having.
learned today
yeah, exactly.
from my wife that I'll be looking at like,
You're about to learn some new stuff next year.
did you not do this at home?
Some of it's beautiful as well.
Yeah.
The majority
Save
of it, I'm
yourself.
just
I'm
no,
trying to
no,
save you.
no. A lot of it is magnificent.
No, but that's what I mean. So the difference is back in the day
But
when we
the
were
crumbs,
dating.
the crumbs are disgusting.
Hoover, man.
When you get married, and we all know this, we're all grownish. Before you get married, or when you get married, you have to love the crumbs of that person.
Oh yeah.
You know
yeah.
the things that you shake out of the toaster.
Toaster.
That's actually hilarious.
That is what you need to love.
The burnt bits.
Because I'll say this: the things that annoyed you or really, really peed you off
Yeah.
when you were together, would you be like, "Oh, leave it." Those are the things that will break the camel's back.
This is why when we keep having
Look
this
at that face.
no,
Red
flag,
there's
red
a,
flag,
there's a
red
reason
flag,
why
red flag.
because
You're
me,
right,
Hebs, and
you're
a friend
right.
have regular conversations around this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And Hebs, like you said, you are more patient. You're much more forgiving as a person, and you give people chances.
She's lock off, lock
I'm
off.
I'm block and delete. Ben, I need to show you my list.
She's got over 200 block and deletes.
I've got
on her
nearly
WhatsApp.
300 people on there because I see it as
I don't have one.
Smoke.
a lot of people only have like one or two,
I don't
and I've
have
got
any.
I have like maybe 6.
Yeah.
And I've had my WhatsApp number since like 2012.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
I've had mine for a long time, and the reason why I do it is because I have the view that if there's something about you that I dislike now and I barely know you,
Then
it's going to be a massive issue later on.
I agree.
And if it's something that if I cannot accept this characteristic about you, because I don't want to change you, but if I cannot accept this characteristic about you as you are as a whole person, because something that is good on one person could be bad on the exact same characteristic could be bad on another, and vice versa.
How it all slots in.
It's all how it slots in. So someone being a little bit, I don't know. For example, your pet hate is people running late. So someone running late could be.
This one.
Today is an trust me.
No.
I run on white people time.
The Hebs is normally the first one.
My
here.
on time is 15 minutes early.
Yeah. But that quality in someone who consistently runs late consistently runs late, but they also lie about where they're going,
long.
or they don't communicate it or anything like that, is a big deal. But someone who is open with you, who tells you, I'm stuck in traffic, I'm this many minutes away, that lateness isn't really an issue.
Yeah.
So you have to weigh it all up
Okay,
as a whole thing. Like,
yeah.
how does it fit into that person's characteristic?
And
And
then-
then also you need to consider, is this something I can live with? If it's not, leave it.
So it's interesting that
Leave
you
it
say that,
behind.
because one of the main issues, or the main, I think, is that I took my ex-husband as with all his potentials as opposed to as he is.
But that's-
And I was a lot younger.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, believe me, if I meet someone and there's something in them that I don't like, not they're not good enough for me, they're just not for me.
Yeah.
So, what are you gonna? You would spud me in it, but you can't touch me.
No,
with COVID.
no.
I'm about to cuss me.
At your age, where you were,
Grownish.
when you first met your ex-husband,
19.
right? All you have is potential.
100%.
That's all you you can't be demanding something from someone to be like, you need to have this, and this, because we need to be getting. All you have is potential
But
at
I'm
19.
not even talking on a materialistic point of view. I'm talking about maturity. I'm talking about
Same
respect.
thing,
I'm
same
talking about
thing.
patience. Like, maybe he'll be more attentive. Maybe he'll be more caring. Maybe he'll be more patient. Maybe he'll be kinder. Like, certain things that were like, red flag. Now, as an adult,
Yeah.
come to me with like 5% of that. He's a great father. Like, I'm not trying to throw no shade at him. I think he's an incredible father and a great son. But he just wasn't the best husband.
For you.
For me.
For you.
For someone
Yeah.
else, I'm sure, because of how great he is, with some growth, he'll be incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But so I think therapy, it was a lot of highlighting all the stuff that I held on to, of like, I had hoped this would change. I hope this, if anything, it kind of got worse because we're now stuck with each other.
Did you communicate that?
Oh my, I gave everything on a manual consistently. Like, I over communicated,
Do you think that hindered
potentially.
his confidence to say you're always pointing out what I could do different, what I could do better?
No, 'cause I'm also your hype man.
Okay.
I'd also want to make sure, like, when he'll complain about work, let's go and find another job together. What do you want to do? Let's go and do this.
But it's
Like,
whether that person is receptive to wanting to make that change
That's
within
it.
themselves, and if they don't, if someone is complaining about something, we've spoken about
people
this
like to
before.
complain.
Some people just want to complain, but they're happy with the status quo. They're happy, as in they're not bothered enough to make a change. So in that, they've accepted their situation.
I think that's kind of a laid back person he was. So when I meet people now and I speak to them about how I see things and, how I support my partner, they're just like, this is it. You're meant to be each other's number one fan. You're meant to be supporting each other. Like, when I'm feeling low, but whether it's in theory sounds great, but when we apply, our personalities clash is another thing.
It's hard.
But I think therapy was because it's a last resort. When we had to stop doing therapy, I literally thought, well, this is the expiry date of my marriage. Because
Really?
that
Jesus,
day
man.
we walked out of therapy,
Because you said that. You said this is the last time you're going to see us.
I literally said to her, this is the last time I'm going to see you, because I knew for a fact that he won't go therapy alone. He'll go, but what about yourself? It's always a deflex. Like deflecting, as opposed to like, do you know what? Let me take accountability for what I did, even if I feel like it, I was justified, or it was your reason, or, it's because of whatever it is your reasoning is. Let's take accountability for our own. Not because I want to please someone, because I actually want to grow as a person. So this is something I'll always tell, like, try and take accountability for all your negativity, even to myself. I can't just be like, for example, do you know, like, I'm the type of person when I was younger, I'll say something, but I'll come across as like too passionate, too aggressive. But my heart is gold, pure, no negative. I'm not cussing you, I'm not doing whatever. But my anxiety kind of then bounces on you. So my sister and my mum always say, Heba, you got a bit of a temper, or like you got da-da-da-da, but we know your heart's pure. But I can't hold that for the rest of my life. I can't roll with life having to go at you, switching and go, that's just who I am. But I got a kind heart. I'm not actually like...
But not
a mind-
everyone will know you the same way that your mum and sister
But
does.
I'm going to push
Yeah.
people away. So
Yeah.
I had to take accountability. So the minute I acknowledge I'm doing such behaviour, I have to apologise for it. Or I have to go, look, that wasn't cool. Da-da-da. I pull myself back. Some people in a grown-ass age still continue with the same energy, and they don't want to reflect. They don't want to look in the mirror. So therefore, going to therapy,
It's out of the question.
why am I here?
Because if you're not going to listen to criticism or feedback from loved ones telling you, hold on a second, what you've said here or what you've done here isn't right, and you're not willing to take that, you're not going to go and take it from a therapist.
And it's all, and especially when you're coming through love, you're going like, I love you, I appreciate you, I genuinely want us to grow. Like, do you know how people are looking? Like, I say to him, do you know how people are looking at us, thinking we're goals? Like, we had a premature child that made it through. Like, we spent 3 months in intensive care. We've got a house together. We've got
I
cars.
remember that.
We got good jobs. We've got great families. Our in-laws get on. Bro, you're literally sitting on gold.
I remember that. Yeah.
Appreciate what you have. And it's like he never quite woke up. And as typical men would do, and correct me if I'm wrong, not all men, but you always understand once it's finished.
100%.
And it's just like,
That's
late,
not even
bro.
men. That's just everything.
But I know a lot of men now who've lost very important women in their lives, and they say, I woke up too late.
I know.
I had that conversation recently with
I know
someone.
that's happened not to me,
Yeah.
but people that I know and who are very close to me, they'll just be like, I cannot believe I messed that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like you are on the ascent
completely.
to greatness. And for whatever, that's why for me, for whatever reason, they've messed up or it just hasn't worked out. That's why for me, it's a case where I look at every single other relationship and I steal stuff
Yes.
from things that I like. There is a relationship right now. My uncle, he's just a great person.
Amazing.
Great man. They've been, I don't even know how long they've been married, over 20 years. I went to their wedding when I was a teenager. And my grandfather as well. I steal stuff from their relationships all the time. Whenever I go and visit, I have conversations with both of them
But
separately.
I respect that because you're constantly understanding, or you understand there's constant room for growth.
Look, if I don't understand the thing with me and my family and everything, which is one of the most important things. Let me put it this way: if anything gets in the way of that, I'm cutting it off. There's nothing that's gonna get in the way of them. So I need to know. I'm not. That's why we joke when he said when Fizz come in the car and she said, "Can I do?" I said, "No, you're not doing your makeup in my car."
I like that. Yeah, he's getting this documented. Right?
I don't want trouble. I don't want hassle. I don't want hassle. I don't want drama because I play that out in my head. My wife gets in the car. The first thing she said, "Why is the seat moved? Why is there this? Why does it smell like this?" I said, "I don't want trouble. If you know me, I just like easy life.
Yeah.
I just want it to be easy, no drama. I don't step out. I like to be at home with my kids and just easy. Everything's
So,
Your
easy."
wife's name
any
is
other-
Joe, yeah? Joe.
Yes.
Joe, it was me sitting in the car. I didn't move the seat. If you find any long hair, it's mine.
Yeah, your hair.
I only did mascara. I didn't do full makeup.
So if there's any other
in the
makeup,
car.
it wasn't her.
It wasn't mine. I'm just putting it out.
Hey, wow. No, you're trying to get me in trouble.
It's all love, man.
No,
It's all love.
no, definitely.
Do you know what?
not.
You're a good seed. Hopefully, Joe can also say that for herself.
Oh, look.
Because sometimes men portray like this amazing version of themselves.
No.
And then their
no.
missus is going swear down. Like it's
I'm
a bit
a-
like
Yeah.
certain artists when they talk about
Like Paul the Provider.
yeah, or like whoever, yeah, and they talk so great about themselves, and I'm sure like that the person's going, but you cheated on me. That's what it's.
I'm a piece of rubbish. There's always room to grow. There's always room to learn. I am whatever you say I am, and I'm no better than anyone. I'm a hypocrite. I may think one way today, may think another way tomorrow. I may
But that's
contradict
growth.
myself.
If you're changing things.
That's why I don't. Yeah, it's who I am. You have to admit that you have flaws. I have flaws, and I'm always trying to improve and grow. You say to your partner, I will make mistakes. I just hope that you can grow with me through those mistakes.
Words.
So it happens.
So can I ask you, would you consider going therapy as a couple?
Oh, 100%. It wouldn't even be a question. It'd just be like, yes, let's go.
So you wouldn't feel uncomfortable if she suggested it?
No. Maybe because I know I've been, so I wouldn't be uncomfortable.
Has she ever been to therapy?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're both already in that
We're
world.
already there, and we already.
Do you think your average friend will be open to therapy? Male friend
My average male friend.
or family member, if it's
No, family member. Some family members, yes. Majority of them, they're Nigerian. No, for what?
I think there's a really big negative
stigma.
attached to therapy.
Do you know what? I think definitely in Nigeria there's something, even till today. Let me explain, and the point that I come to will make sense. In Nigeria today, I'm from a small. Well, my mum's side is from a small village called Warri. In Warri, when I say it's concrete, there are no trees in Warri.
Wow.
There are no trees there. You want to know why? Because people believe witches live in trees
To this very day.
till this very day, so you cut down all the trees.
Wow.
Now I'm telling you, if you think like that, you think you're gonna go to a therapist.
Of course not.
For what purpose? This witch doctor wants to come and tell me about never.
Question.
Never.
Are
It's not
they? Are they? Is it a Christian town?
100%. The north where Boko Haram and all of that. That's not to say that's majority Muslim. Majority. Not to say that is because I just realized what I just said. Not to say that that is a part of it, but in the north is Muslim. In the
It's usually northwest.
south,
That's like Sudan as well.
the rest
North
of the
Sudan's
world
Muslim.
is
Christian.
Christian.
So the reason why I ask is that it's interesting because obviously your faith doesn't talk about witchcraft like that.
No.
So it's interesting how like culture and
But that's
faith
where,
takes an overlap
Christianity and faith, other faiths
any
were
faith.
adopted after the culture was established.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So people, and this is not uncommon across, like
No, not at
not
all.
necessarily
Jeez.
witches, but things like ghouls and ghosts in trees.
Yeah.
Very common stories that we get told as like ghost stories
Yeah.
from young. As a Bengali kid, we get told all really dumb things like don't walk under a tree after it's gone dark with your hair out. I don't understand.
I get told not to speak in a toilet or like not to cry in the toilet because the devil's there.
There's obviously an Islamic reason for it,
Oh, is
but
Please.
but the cultural things get added in and they twist it around
It
and
becomes a little fairy tale.
like,
horror
I get
movie.
told not to wear red in the dark because it will attract ghosts and bad spirits. And it's
They can
like,
We
see
believe
you,
in jinn, not ghosts, right?
well, yeah, they say jinn, but what they mean is witches and
Oh no.
Gin?
jinn. Yeah.
Not the drink.
No. J-I-double-N.
Oh, the rapper.
Yes, the rapper. The Muslim community believe in the rapper jinn.
Hey.
No. What was I going to say? The reason why I asked about that is because it's interesting that even in 2021, that culture's still kind of taken over. Like I would have thought as we've evolved, I think Egypt's still a bit backwards, to be honest, in the sense that with knowledge, they should go, do you know what? We don't really believe in this. Let's not hold on to that myth anymore or that concept anymore.
It's getting there slowly, though.
I'm going to butcher this name. Zamalek sounded... Or is it Zamalek or...
Zamalek.
Sorry.
Zamalek.
Listen,
You know when you go to
Wait,
your
I
I'm
don't
not-
know who he was
when you-
talking
I'm
about.
not
When he said it's a C.
Egyptian. I'm not Egyptian.
So from Cairo to Zamalek, you want to catch an Uber?
Zamalek.
Zamalek.
Yes.
Zamalek, yeah.
There where I visited for a very small period of
Zamalek.
time. I was there.
It didn't even sound Egyptian. Sorry.
I don't know. Anyway, it sounded...
Zamalek.
It to me, it looked and it felt very forward.
Oh yeah, Zamalek's like very, very modern. So Cairo as a whole has it's no longer a third world country, I guess, like Egypt. It's more of a developing country. And they got Ubers out there.
Yeah, of course.
They got IKEA fam.
That's how I got around.
Listen, and they're so cheap.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know about you.
It was cheap up until a point, but what happened was some Uber drivers pick you up. You pay, but you want to pay by credit card on your phone, and then just say, "Oh, I don't accept it. Can you pay cash?" Like,
Oh, they're bumping you. Say no.
Dude.
Say no. Move on to the next one next time. Don't do that.
ah,
But yeah, no, Egypt's definitely developed, but unfortunately, culture still kind of wins at times. You have to be very sure in your faith to not let anyone bug you in your ear.
But this is where, so obviously we've talked about Zamalek. Yes.
Better.
Being
Zamalek.
being a little bit more.
Sorry, it's ringing in my ear. I'm gonna go ahead and Mum go, Mum, have you been to Zamalek before?
Oh
at
gosh.
least I even know.
That's true. I didn't even know.
Man went on
least
holiday,
I-
you know. I expect
That
him to
wasn't
know.
a holiday. That was work.
So, he gets thrown out to Zamalek.
Anywho,
But there's always going to be places in countries that don't have the access to technology that big cities do have.
Yeah, true.
So there will always be a group of people far behind in terms of their thinking, their
yeah,
culture.
there's
and
certain
stuff
people
like
that live in jungles still.
it's
That-
the access,
Yeah.
it's the access to the
Yeah.
rest of the world.
Yeah, so I visited Morocco a few years ago. I went to
Go on, give it a shot.
shoot.
Huh?
I've forgotten where
Huh?
the beach town.
Keep going.
Do you know?
No, I've never been to Morocco. Never been to North Africa. Oh, sorry, Egypt. Sorry.
Oh, I've forgotten already.
Sorry,
It's been like 30 seconds, bro.
I went to Zamalek.
Is it just that you went to?
I went to Cairo.
Agadir. There we go.
Huh?
Agadir.
Okay.
Went to Agadir, Morocco. And me and my sister wanted to obviously do the touristy things, but we wanted a twist where we got to see people's actual lives.
Pickpocketing.
The big, you know.
You want pickpocketing?
No. So,
No.
so because we
a
look
big thing in
Moroccan,
Moroccan.
as in we
Yeah,
fitted
you do
in,
fit in, yeah.
we were able to speak to people and go, can you take us to places that Moroccans go to? So when they took you, or when they take tourists to souks, like markets and stuff, there's a tourist market, rip-off prices.
Yeah,
but
then
then
you got
there's
the
a
local
Moroccan
thing.
market, the Moroccan souk, and they took us to that. And that was amazing. Beautiful, cheap. And because we looked Moroccan,
Affordable.
we kind of blended in.
Do
But anyway,
they speak Arabic in Morocco? I don't know.
They speak a few
speak-
languages,
yeah, they
but
speak French
there
as
is
well.
French would be the
so
other one,
yeah, but there's also another third language.
English would be one. Arabic.
English is
French.
not a main.
Well, Berber
but
is the
main one.
indigenous.
So Moroccans, Tunisian, and Algerians, I think they have like a crossover like tribal language.
Oh.
It's quite deep. Like it's not Arabic, it's not French. It's a whole
Something completely different.
Wow.
begins with A. Amazon.
Interesting.
So when we were being shown around, we met some amazing guys who showed us around more
Yeah.
the sort of the hidden parts of Agadir that maybe a tourist wouldn't normally see. And we came across the Berber people who are still very traditional and very limited in terms of their access to technology.
There's Bedouins out here still.
Yeah,
man.
Bedouins, yeah. And it's amazing. Like we got to spend a day with the Bedouins and they showed us their little
Did they show you how to make cheese?
No, but they
in year
showed us
two we
their
did that in
little their little farm where they kept their little barn where they kept their lambs and their chicken and stuff like that. So
That will be dinner tomorrow.
it
so-
would
Yeah,
be,
literally.
but it was still nice. They showed us around. It was cool. They cooked for us and everything. But one of the things I got told while I was out there is be careful who you point your camera at. Because there's some people who strongly believe that when you take a picture of them, you're taking their soul.
Yeah. I mean,
But you know, Islamically as well, there's a lot
Yeah,
of
there's a
hadiths
lot
that
of you shouldn't be taking photos. But
Yeah.
they as in they are so
Says it's
firm
self-esteem.
in their belief that they will
Freak
come
out.
at you. Basically, so they were like, just be careful. Don't, you can, because I had it around my neck. They were like, have it around your neck, but don't pick it up to take photos in certain situations because it will upset people. And I was like,
I just pictured Get Out when he took a photo and the souls came out.
I haven't
real
watched Get
truth.
Out. It's too scary for me.
No,
what?
man, you
It's
need
a
to
thriller.
see
It's not
it.
even scary.
My
Kill
favorite
my-
scene is still that woman who's like smiling but crying at the same time. Oh my days,
Yeah, it's good.
that it
You
haunts
get
me
to
different.
see the progression of that young man. It's very good.
Yeah, it is actually really,
Very,
really
very good.
good.
I don't do well with scary.
You don't like
things.
horror films? Oh dear.
So in year 2, we had to live like Bedouins for probably like a week
Oh yeah.
in the classroom. So we had our whole classes in the Bedouin little tent.
Oh.
And we got to make cheese and hang it. Like we actually, I don't know why I still remember this. So I just wanted to relate to your
in
Bedouin
this
experience.
country.
Yeah. I went to Saudi school, man.
Oh
11
yes,
years.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a
I went
wicked
to a Muslim
experience.
school.
That's good.
Still turned out all right, you know.
Teach.
Some girls went left. It's just like it's a girls' school. Boys, where are they? Boys, where are they? Get pregnant.
I mean,
I turned out all right.
Stop it. Cheese and bread.
Shout out to the crew. So therapy, would you consider it, my dear?
100%.
Can you hurry up and do it, please?
I will. I need
say
to.
this like you've got problems.
If you
but-
need
No,
it. If you
I-
no,
need
it's
it.
because she's been mentioning it.
I've
I'm saying this on
I've
a
been
personal-
talking about and thinking about therapy for years, because I understand how important it is for personal growth and development. And there are times when, like you said, Ben, that you just want to chat to someone and get perspective just by airing it out to someone who doesn't know you and who's not going to give you their comments, their opinions, their biases. So yeah, I do want to, but I want to find someone who can understand the cultural side of things for me, because I've broken away from a lot of cultural things, and I deal with.
Is
the
it
impact
mainly
that has on
negative? Is it like blindly inherited negative things that you've let go
Yeah,
of?
yeah, definitely. So it's things like my dress sense. I'm considered to be too westernized by the way that I dress, but that doesn't mean that I'm letting go of my cultural heritage in any way.
Brethren, I've seen your cupboards.
You've seen my
You've got
okay,
more
so day to
Asian
day
outfits than you do jeans.
But it's like day to day, I will wear obviously Western clothes because it's comfortable. It's, you know,
But
what the job that I do, whatever. But when it comes to weddings and stuff or formal functions, I'm like, yeah, okay, let's bring out the Asian clothes, the Bengali clothes.
So what does everyone want you to wear? Sorry, we're digressing.
But it's as in there's some expectation even within the Western way of dressing that you dress to show your cultural identity.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, what? Is it the pink socks that you're wearing? You put your legs up.
Can you, yeah, can we show off your
Raise-
funky
raise
socks?
Raise the leg. Show some Nigerian heritage. Pink Panther.
What do you wear
Culturally?
at weddings?
So I wear either saris or salwar kameez,
Do you
which
have
is
to wear bangles as well?
sometimes, yeah. You don't have to. It's jewelry,
Okay.
but like there's, for example, me wearing a short top. This isn't a short top by any means, but to be considered modest, culturally appropriate
Below your
form of
bum?
dressing for my mum, for other people, is I need to cover the bum. Yeah.
bum, yeah.
Okay.
So I should be
When you got
wearing
a
a
bunda, you
long
gotta cover it.
tunic. Not even if you have a bunda, you know.
I swear, my sisters got away with it. They didn't have a bum.
No.
For me, they're like,
Oh man.
No, you have to wear something that
Long
looks
clothes,
like a
long
tunic. You know, you could be wearing.
look at auntie all times.
Yeah, man.
Auntie
And it's like,
vibes.
no, but that just because I'm wearing Western clothes and dressed in a certain way doesn't mean I'm rejecting my cultural heritage at all. And it's that
Adaptable.
kind of stuff where I'm, you know, if I want to explore that a bit more, I want to, understand it a bit more or, just have a conversation around it. If someone doesn't understand why it's important to my family for me to dress a certain way or for not necessarily my family are cool, but my, the cultural
aunties.
community that I'm in. Yeah, the aunties. It's always the aunties, man. You aunties need to calm down.
Chill, man.
But it's that kind of stuff like, having comments made about colouring your hair. Why is that such a bad thing? But colouring your hair is slaggish, apparently, to some aunties.
Damn,
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, man.
getting the
And
highlights in
here
Egypt.
I am with long blonde hair.
Damn.
That is something that I can.
But it's that kind of stuff where it's like I don't agree with you with some of these cultural expectations put on me. I'm living my life as best as I can, but it's reconciling it, and that these are things that I may want to talk about with a therapist. But if
like
they
that.
don't get the cultural side, it'll
They
be
won't
difficult.
understand you.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah.
So I personally, I think I go back to therapy. I don't think I need it at the moment. I think I'm all right. But I wouldn't mind as a healthy dialogue between my future partner if I ever get married again.
You want to get married again?
Of course. I
You
want to
want
have
more
more
kids?
kids. Yeah.
I just want kids.
Brethren, get married, innit?
You're-
You want someone to spoon with. Trust me.
Well, you're Western. You don't have to get married to have children.
She just needs donations.
You need donations.
No. Sis,
No, I
let's not.
do want to do
She's
things.
gonna get married, inshallah,
Yes.
to a decent guy. But yeah, no, I'd want to introduce therapy or like just healthy dialogue between my partner and I, even without a therapist, where we're openly not a 28 plan. They plan like my man Paul, Uncle Paul, no, but as in
Oh, the 28-day relationship review.
bruh, this ain't probation.
To be fair,
But I do think
It's a sensible thing to
It's not a bad
do.
idea.
But
You
it's not.
have
It's not.
but-
No. I get it, but I wouldn't put it as. I wouldn't title it like
to- I
that.
don't know if it's sustainable every 28 days.
But
But
it's
give
it's
it
the
to-
fact that he counts that as quality time that really got to me. So when he was asked, how do you spend time
It's like someone buying
with
you
your
paint for your
partner,
birthday.
we
paint
do
your
our
room.
28-day review.
Okay, but that's not quality time.
That's
No,
not quality
just
time.
reflection time.
The thing is, the 28-day review, I actually agree. I think that's quite
No,
nice.
I think it's health. That's what I'm saying. This is why
Yeah.
that's why I said I'd like to have a healthy and open dialogue with my partner where we can talk about what things we'd like to improve on, what things are going great. I think it's important to praise our partners
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not just constantly go, you don't do this. And that's something I made sure I worked, even psychologically, to my ex-husband. Which is I
Encourage.
made sure I fed his ego and then hit a blow, then fed his ego again.
the
Don't give him
sandwich, the
don't give him
criticism
a-
sandwich.
a ish sandwich, no.
I have to.
Just tell me what's wrong. What do you want?
No, because if I give you the wrong, then
Just-
your
I-
defenses are. So with him, automatically the minute I go, can I talk to you?
What's up?
The face screws up. So for me, that's a different person. I think him as a person, he just was dealt different cards in life and he sees the world in a different lens than I do. But so therefore from the beginning with my one partner, there's been a huge level of growth as a person for myself. So I think with my next partner, I'll be very confident to how I choose to articulate myself. I wouldn't shy away from my expectations, and I wouldn't want them to shy away from their expectations as well.
Okay.
And if we feel some kind of way, cool, boxing gloves, let's do this.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't shy away from therapy. And I think I'd want my partner to be open to the concept that, you know, it doesn't show a sign of weakness if you need to go speak to a therapist. It doesn't make you less of a man. It doesn't mean our marriage is falling apart. It just means sometimes we're stuck in our ways and sometimes we can talk about it and it doesn't work out. And we don't want to bring, like, the worst thing you want to do is have, like, the boys group, WhatsApp group, and the girls, and no one's really communicating amongst themselves. Like, they're telling others. It's important to have your boys who maybe are your own mentors and you guys help each other out.
Yeah.
I think that's very important because you guys can learn from each other, and women as well. But not everyone's got best intentions.
Yeah.
So it's being mindful because there'll always be a bitter woman. There'll always be a bit of slight guy who's not had that growth who'll maybe give you really crap advice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, every
But
guy has
hopefully
that.
you should
in
know
the
that.
group.
Yeah.
Do you have to meet your guys' male friends?
I think it's important, yeah.
Yeah.
You think it's important as well?
No, not just male friends, just friends,
Friends in
generally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think because I know there's always that dynamics. So there's always that one F boy that's not quite grown up. There's one that still lives with his mum. That's cool. There's always different.
But it's like you said, it's understanding the dynamics of that friendship group to understand, is this someone, is your like my partner
in good hands?
In good hands. Are they
Very
going to be
true,
easily
yeah.
led astray? Are they the ones going to be doing the leading astray?
Are they the ringleader?
But I'll
Yeah,
tell you what,
like,
so for example, CK, some of y'all might know him. So him and his boys, when I sit with them and I see how they big each other up and they motivate each other and the way they kind of even want to talk about women and how they sort of pull each other up and accountability, I'm like, yo,
That's what you need
this
more
is the
of.
bromance.
That's what
talking
they
about.
do in front of you.
No, obviously they also do scummy stuff or whatever. But I've heard them when I'm not as in he's on the phone talking to his boy, and I'm staying quiet, and they're talking about problems.
That brother there.
Yeah, that's CK.
CK.
That's not me.
CK.
That's not me.
That's him. Like
Friend of the show. I'm just
a
saying.
model.
There you go. No, say that. He's a friend and family of the show.
Yeah,
He
he's a
is, he
family
is.
member.
Our finance specialist. But yeah, so I think when I see certain, but even if he's putting it on for me, the fact that they're all wired to think to an extent, even if they're stunning, let's just say they're stunning a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's still something in them, the moral compass that allows them to hold a level of accountability, and I think that's important to have amongst the mandem.
And what about the female friends? Because I find that my experience with friends of my partners have been interesting. They haven't always been as supportive as they could have been.
So I don't have that
and
many.
that's just people that I've known in the past, not necessarily talking about present.
Okay, cool. So for me, I don't have many female friends.
Why is that?
Firstly, I grew up as a tomboy. So I
Right.
grew up just gravitating towards men. I don't like bitching. I don't like gossip. I don't like backbiting. I don't like shit stirrers.
And you feel that
women
do
that I've come across, especially like in school days, it's very cliquey. It's about popularity. It's about bullying. None of that stuff. I even knew how to. I always defended everyone. Like I was a free spirit, a floater. So when I was able to integrate, I integrated more, like you said, with our male cousins or my brother, etc. So it was kind of like that was what I was surrounded by. So by nature, I was mandem. But as I grew older, I met other women who they'll say I don't get on with other women.
Me?
I'm like, exactly.
Well, I was just about to say, not that, but just that you've met other women along the way
On the
who've
same
shown you
wave.
that say on the same wave, but who have shown you that not all women are bitchy.
100%.
Not and me.
Not 100%.
Yeah.
There's a handful of women now who, honestly, with my everything, I can depend on.
Yeah.
Whether it's to have a cry, have a laugh, whether it's for me to vent on a little bit, for them to have patience for me, whether it's for them to give me an L, like I would depend on them because they are so on my level that I trust them. Do you know what I mean? Anyone else in between does not qualify and does not get hollered at.
Yeah.
They've just faded into the background. And it's because their energy has been something that I identify as a child, where it's been bitchy, snide, something that makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. I read energy, and to me,
Like frenemy type peoples. Yeah.
I'm good.
No.
I'm cool with my free friends.
No, honestly, it is definitely quality over quantity.
And it doesn't matter because you're
100%,
old
yeah.
school friends that it matters.
Yeah.
I've made good new friends and
Yeah.
they're perfectly great.
No new
Exactly.
friends.
No, I'm down.
New friend, no,
No,
Bring
sometimes
new
them new.
friends.
So there's obviously like I posted today about soulmates. I put a post up.
Don't believe in them, but carry on.
I believe in them, and I feel like what I added a little bit of my own text to it to say there's people that come to mind immediately when I read up about soulmates because
Think of me.
yes, and
Why are you tagging me, fam?
I didn't tag anyone. The ones who are my soulmates know they're my soulmates basically because you feel an instant connection. And you just vibe, and it doesn't matter the length of your friendship.
I agree.
I have friends from when I was 15, 16 who to this day I absolutely adore, and they're like closer to me than family. Like basically they're close to my soul. I can't say close to my heart, but close to my soul.
Yeah.
And like Hebs, I've known you for a couple of years, but I feel the same way about you
I
too.
feel like I've known you forever.
It does feel like that.
100%.
Like forever and ever, but when you quantify it, like maybe 3 years, I don't know,
years, yeah.
not that long in comparison to other people, but that doesn't take away the depth of the friendship we've built in that
Not at
time.
all. Not at all.
And I've been doing a lot of thinking recently because situations have cropped up. And I honestly look at the circle of friends that I have. It's not very big.
Nah.
Like the soul
Quality.
friends, like my soul friends, the ones that I think like very highly of. It's a small number. I love them to bits, and they are like high quality people. They're people who motivate me, who make me feel supported.
They elevate you, man.
Yeah, and they elevate me. They challenge me to do better for myself, and it's like that kind of. I'm surrounded by that,
Yeah.
and when I looked at it a little bit more, they're all women. For me, all my close friends are women.
That's what's happening as you get older.
Yeah, and
amazing.
you know, there's peripheral friends. Not that I'm taken away from their status as my friends. They are still my friends.
Peripheral
But
friends.
they're like, I don't want to.
It could be
It
you.
sounds really bad, but it's like fair weather friends.
Wow. You should call them
Fair weather. What does that
colleagues.
mean?
As in,
Yeah, your associates, they're colleagues.
so there's associates.
My co-workers.
So there's, you know, the ring. The ring is, you know, your
Inner circle, yeah.
Yeah, so my inner circle, I love them to bits. The position of best friend is still available because it's reserved for Mr. Fizz, but hey ho.
That's
then-
interesting you say that. Keep
Yeah,
going, keep
and
going.
then there's the soul friends, like the absolute close friends, and then there's the friends. And I call them fair weather friends, not in a diss to them, but in the sense that
I don't know what fair weather means.
fair, it just means that you're there for a good time. Like, but in the nicest way possible. Like, they're not friends that you would call.
But you
when
have
you're
friends
in
that
distress.
you call out for like concerts to go out for a laugh.
Yeah, like let's hang
time
out
and place
together, let's
friends.
have the good
Yeah,
times
yeah.
together.
You
But
benefit
they're
each
not
other out.
necessarily the friends that you would call when you're in a crisis or you're
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah,
distress
yeah.
or you need to offload.
Yeah.
The
Word,
friends
word,
that
word.
you cry to are your soul friends, and then you've got your outer circle of friends who are still great friends, and you may offload a problem here or there, but you wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable calling them up in the middle of the night to say, hey, this just happened, I really need your help right now, or I need your support. And then there's your what did you call them?
Colleagues.
Your colleagues.
Not your colleagues,
Associates.
associates. The people you just know. You
I
might
love
hang out
the
with
paint
them
on your
once in a while.
hand.
Yeah, I was painting and it's all gloss paint and I can't get it off.
You know the funny thing you said that with people that will be phoning you up. I just read, don't phone me up at any point in time.
Don't phone me either. My phone's on
At
Do Not
any-
Disturb after 10:30 p.m.
Trust me, are you mad? It comes
lets
on,
me know
I
it's
don't want to
bedtime.
hear nothing. I got a baby to raise. Get off my phone.
No, but you know, I mean, it wouldn't be a habit, but like say for example an emergency happened.
I don't care. Sort it out. You're an adult. Get off my phone.
Well,
That's true. You got other people. So.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Don't be ringing me up. But I think
So basically, Ben's
no,
just put himself in the associate
I'm an associate.
circle.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm an associate. I know what I have responsibilities.
No.
Stuff.
It's
I know.
you would. That's the thing. You also wouldn't be irresponsible with it when it's like close friends. You know they're
When we were
set up.
teenagers, the tail end of teenager going into the 20s, yeah, phone me up whatever time my phone's always on. You can reach me. Now,
no sleep.
I ain't got time, man. I'm raising babies out here, man. Keep these kids off the streets, bro. Ain't got time for that.
I hear you. Do you guys have any final thoughts? In regards
Oh,
to
I just
therapy?
want to ask: does going to
Is this a final
couples therapy
Yeah.
also extend to your children?
Ooh, that's family therapy.
I think there is family therapy.
Yeah,
Family, that's
but
a
as
good
in,
point.
if your
That's a really
child
good
says,
point.
"I want to go to therapy on my own," would you be supportive of that? Because our experiences have been that our families haven't been. Is
So
this something that you would?
I think, yeah, I would want my child, if I feel that there was a reason, I'd like to hope that they feel safe enough to speak to me. And I'm a bad man mum in the sense that they feel hella safe.
Keep
Yeah.
going.
But at the same time, if for some reason there's something that's so deep inside them that they feel they cannot articulate to me. Obviously, if it's like a red flag, there's people in place to sort of flag it during therapy. So if it's something, suicidal thoughts, God forbid, or whatever, then that will eventually be fed back to me because I'm still the parental guide.
You're
I'm the parent, innit?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be against it, but I think I'll feel some kind of way initially, like, you can't talk to me. I'd like to hope that I've broken that barrier that my parents had.
Yeah.
But we wait and see.
Yeah.
Yourself?
Before I had my son, I was very of, if he does something wrong, I'll just beat him. If he talks back to me, I'll just beat him. There wasn't any
thought in it.
That was very, it's like, he can't be disrespecting me, just whatever.
I'll make a new one.
As soon as you come out and he starts to get his own personality, it completely changes. So for me, if my little boy wanted to go to therapy, I'd be more worried of what he's experiencing than me to tell him, no, you shouldn't go.
Yeah.
I'd be so worried.
To what extent?
Because me as his parent, right now, I can fix anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing that he does that I can't fix.
That's it.
So when he gets to an age where I can't physically fix it for him, then I'm worried.
Yeah.
Because you're still a parent. Like, with the whole beating thing, I always thought my child's going to get beaten just so he can feel that he fits in with the tails, right? No. So just in case, beatings. Beat him in advance, beat him afterwards, shocking ones.
In his sleep, everything.
Yeah. You know, classic stuff that we've experienced, but I actually can't do that.
No.
Yeah.
The most I do is my tone changes and he freaks out because he knows.
They know.
And like even today.
Stop it!
Yeah.
And he's at the age he'll start crying.
Yeah, no, but
and then okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. And you hug him, you pick him up, and he's okay. You wipe his eyes, and and then he's fine, and he's gone.
But yeah, you're right. I think that is the scary part because I say mummy bear's always there. So the minute I know my son's in danger, even today,
mummy bear.
But it sounds cute, but that's also quite aggressive.
Yeah.
Because yesterday, football we went to, some kid kicked the ball. We got onto the pitch. And they took over the kids when they weren't meant to during like half time. Yeah. And then the kid kicked it and it almost hit a newborn, like a little baby. It literally went over his head. And then everyone reacted in the audience. So the kid pointed at my son. The way I was going to... and I had to wooster and be like, Hebs, you're a mum. You're not one of them. So I'm like, Khalil looked. Everyone looked at him. And he's like going... like he was about to burst. So Khalil, no. You've done nothing wrong. Come. And I hugged him, kissed his forehead. Everything was good. I looked at the boy, wanted to just cuss him out. Instead, I was just like, So yes. So guys, to conclude, I think I would, but I'd be concerned.
Yeah, definitely.
Yourself?
I mean, I don't have kids, but I don't know.
That's fair.
As in, it would be really hard for me to say how I would feel about it, but I would never stop them from going to therapy.
I understand.
I don't think it would stop them. It would just be a fear of I cannot fix this.
Yeah.
But I would still
You feel like you failed in something.
in some way.
100%,
There would be a bit of a
that.
failure, but you'd just be like,
But I mean,
that's what he needs.
There comes a point, I guess, when our kids grow up that they no longer need us.
It's
as
about
their
like letting
parents.
him go on the bus and you're like, what do you mean? No, I am CCTV. Are you mad?
Yeah.
And like I have to eventually let go of him and know that he's gonna walk with his friends, knowing what's happening in London.
Yeah.
Like that freaks from when I was pregnant with a child. I freaked out. It's like all the responsibility. I pictured him at 18, at 20, everything. Oh no!
Oh, it's a sign. It's a sign.
All right. So, guys, this is our
summary.
first official episode
I
visually.
know.
But you can catch us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, where we have 40 other episodes. We can catch myself. I am Hebs with a Z on Instagram.
You can find me under Keep It Fizz. 1Z.
1Z.
It's not Keep It Fizz.
And then finally...
Of course, it's your uncle's favourite uncle. But you can catch me, Ben of LDN. So yeah, I'm on all socials and everything like that. So
yes, and catch us, Growing Up British without this error sign, on growingupbritish.h, and also it's going to be on YouTube under Mama Hebs. So make sure y'all subscribe, y'all like, y'all share, do your thing.
I think you should stand up.
Do you want to just
and
show the camera, please, and show them the name of our podcast?
And show them,
And
show them
go
the back too.
please. Just straighten it out.
You can.
Listen, allow it.
We in here, bruv. Come on, man.
Yes,
Come
guys.
on, man.
Hopefully, catch us every week. We're gonna be here, and in the meantime,